move to our day 2, which is about learning about basic Python syntax. Now, in the last lecture, we wrote our first line of code, right? So now let's jump into learning how to write the code. What does it actually mean? And also, we'll try to do some basic arithmetic operations in today's lecture, right? Now, yes, let's create our day 2 notebook. You can create a new one as well. Like for example, very simple, go to file and you can create a save copy in drive as well. You can connect your Google Drive as well. Okay. Or you can change the current notebook to day 2 as well. Right. So let me create a new notebook. So file, new notebook in drive. It will automatically open up a new notebook. So yes, it is creating our new notebook as well. Right. So let us give it a name. Day 2. Right. Now again, don't forget to connect. Very simple, just one click. Now first one is, let's talk about data types. Right. So what are these data types? Why do I say the word data type itself? See, I mean, we have the things that we interact with, right? So when you write a piece of code, right? So when you write some word like a print, it's in letters, right? When you do some mathematical operation like 1 plus 1, it's in numbers, right? So these are nothing but data, right? So data in different forms, right? Now that form is nothing but the type. So Python, it has its own definitions. So let's take a look at what are those definitions. Now the first one is integers, right? Now I'll tell you the beauty of Python here, right? I'll just put some code cells here. Now when you type a word integer, it doesn't say anything. It says, okay, it gives you some right, so some correction, right? So okay, something you've typed something that I don't understand. But when you type it int, right, then you see it is actually giving you it is valid. And also if you see, it is in a different color. Like, well, let's say I put David, it's coming in black color, right? But when I put the word int, it's in different color. So that way you can understand. So Python has some code languages, right? Now int is one, then you have float, then you have string, right? So these are some things that I wanted to cover today. So as we go ahead, learn more things, we will get to understand a lot more things in detail as well, right? So int, float, stir. So what is so these are nothing but some keywords in Python. So you can see the color is different. So that's how you can easily identify because of the Colab. So what are each of these? And what do they mean, right? So for example, int is nothing but integer, so which is like negative numbers, positive numbers, including 0, right? So anything is an integer. So all the way from minus infinity, right? So minus infinity to like all the way -1, 0, then you have 1 all the way to infinity, right? So this is your integer, right? Now float is a decimal, right? So float is nothing but a decimal in a simple English language. So decimal, as we know, like 0.1 is a decimal, 0.01 is a decimal, negative 0.1 is also a decimal, 10.3 is also a decimal, right? So anything which has, number before the dot, after the dot, it's like the decimal, it's called a float. Okay. So that is about float. String is nothing but characters, right? So a character is nothing but, it could be a single letter. For example, A is a character, right? Now, yes, right? So as you see, I've put a character in double quotes. You can see these are quotes, right? So, and you have double quotes. You can also use single quotes, right? So whatever is your preference. So you can use letter, right? So it's nothing but a string. If you put something like a bus, this is also a string, or a sentence, right? I'm in a bus. This is also a string. So this is nothing but a set of characters, right? And if you notice, there is a space here, right? So this space, this is also a character, right? So empty space, it's also a character, or a hashtag, it's also a character, right? So this @ this also characters, right? So if you want to read more about it, it's called ASCII characters, right? So there's a code for each of these characters, right? But anything is a character, letters, right? So anything, but thing that you need to remember is you have to put the strings in double quotes or single quotes. So only then Python will understand that it is a character. As you see, as soon as I put it in double quotes, it is able to assign some different color, some kind of a brownish color, as you can see, right? It understands that, okay, these are some quotes. Okay, I've put a dot here, it should be a comma, right? So that is about strings. Now, so David, what is all this? You are writing like a notebook, right? So what happens if you run it, right? So this code, I'm just using it to explain to you, right? So you don't have to run this code, right? What you can do is, I'll tell you some couple of shortcuts here. Now Ctrl plus A, right? So go to this cell, anywhere in this cell, and do Ctrl A. You will be able to select the entire content of this. Okay. So this is used to select all, right? And then I'll tell you one more shortcut here, right? So select all and do Ctrl backslash. You see the magic? I'll put the shortcut here, Ctrl plus backslash. This is to comment all. Okay, once again, we'll select all, then we do Ctrl backslash, or what it does is it comments the entire thing. You can see it is converted into green color and it assigns some hashtag. So which means even if you run it, nothing happens, right? So it's like a notes to you, right? So comments, right? So we'll do the same thing here. Go to the cell. These are called cells. You select all, do Ctrl backslash, then this will give you the comment all. Right. Sorry, this is not backslash, this is a forward slash. Okay. So yeah. Right. So, okay. So I hope you understood till comments here. So we went through data types. Then we understood how to comment all as well. Now let's talk about something called variables, right? So it's a very interesting topic, right? So now let's learn about variables as well, right? For example, I have some numbers in my mind and I just want to calculate some numbers. Okay. So I bought some things in a shop and I just want to use Python to use it like a calculator, right? So I just want to count some numbers, right? So the things that I've purchased, right? For example, I've bought 3 things. So one of them costed 100 rupees, another one costed 25 rupees, another one costed 40 rupees. Okay. So now what you can do is you can just run this and then 165. You see, you can use it as a calculator as well, right? So you can do a lot of math operations. You can do 100 into 7, right? Right. So you can use Colab as your, right? So you can keep adding cells by clicking on this plus code symbol. As you see, we can keep adding more cells to it, right? You can do a lot of things. For example, you can divide number as well, right? So all the basic operations can be done on Colab itself. Like if you put double slash, it will give you an integer division, and if you put percentage, it gives you the reminders as well, right? So lots of operations can be done, right? Now, for example, let's say I'm watching a cricket match. Okay, I'm watching a cricket match and Virat scored 60 runs. Okay, so now what did I do here? Okay, so David, while you're saying you just did something. Okay, so what did I do? I have a number, I have a person, right? So I'm trying to connect the number to a person, right? The score to a person. So that is why we need these variables, right? So now Virat has scored 60 and let's say Rohit has scored 30, right? And then Rahul has scored 10. Okay, so now Virat scored 60 equals, I'm using an equal to symbol. So left side you have Virat and right side you have his score. You have to connect these two via equal to symbol. Okay, then you have Rohit, then you have Rahul, right? So now let us run all of this. When you try to fetch for Virat, you just put Virat and just run the code. What happens is you automatically get Virat's score, or same thing happens if you put Rahul, right? If you run Rahul, you will get 10. And the beauty is you can add these things as well. You can do like Virat plus Rohit. If you do this, what happens is you will get sum of both of their runs, and you can keep adding, right? It's not like you can only add two things, you can add multiple things as well in one single line, right? Now these variables you can also assign some simple values like x equals to 1, y equals to 2, z equals to 3, right? So you can use letters as well. Okay, you can use some names, set of characters, and then you can use x, but don't use numbers, right? So 1x, this will not work. As you see, it is throwing error, but you can use x1, right? So or x2, you can use this, right? And if you want to assign multiple variables in one line, you can do that. X comma y comma z is equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3. So this automatically assigns x to 1, y to 2, z to 3. Isn't it amazing? Okay, so David, this is okay, amazing to see already. So let's recall what did we do, right? So we learned about int, float, string, set of integers, negative infinity to positive infinity, including 0, right? Then float, anything with a decimal is a float, negative, positive, doesn't matter. Then string is nothing but characters, single character, set of characters, right? So other characters like space, hash, @ others, comma, or all the things, right? Now we learned a couple of shortcuts: Ctrl A to select all, Ctrl / to comment all. Then we learned about variables, so you can assign a value to a variable. So this is a variable and this is its value. So we are equating both using an equals to symbol. If you want to assign multiple variables, you can do that in a single line: x comma y comma z equals to 1, 2, and 3. Isn't it amazing? So let's close this session with a simple input and output thing. For example, I want to introduce ABC numbers, right? So a comma b, I'll define it 10 comma 20. Okay. Now my C, I want C to be like a plus b, right? You can do those kind of things as well. So C is a new variable. C is equals to a plus b, isn't it? Okay, so now let's run it. So as you see, it has run it and it has stored about C. Let's see what actually the value of C is. You can see it is 30. So that's how you can secretly store your values as well, right? So yes, that's all for this lecture. See you in the next one.